Good morning, children. Take out your book. Engage in English, Book 3, English Literature. Open the first lesson, A Faithful Act, Chapter 1. Today I am going to teach the story of Faithful Act. Faithful Act has been taken from Jataka Tales. Once upon a time, in Kanchanpur, the king of the crows lived with his queen and subjects, a flock of crows on a tree. He loved her very much. What happened? Once upon a time, in Kanchanpur, the king crow lived along with his queen and a group of crows in a tree. And the king crow loved his wife very much. One day they flew to the palace of the king of Kanchanpur. The queen crow smelled the deliciously cooked fish which the king cook had made for him. Her mouth watered, but the cook kept a strict eye on the food and she could not steal it. Both returned to their nest. What happened? Once when the queen crow along with the king crow, they went to the palace of Kanchanpur and they took the smell of deliciously cooked food of the fish which has been cooked for the king of Kanchanpur, and her queen crow's mouth watered taking the smell of the fish, and she wanted to have a portion of that food, but the cook kept a strict eye on the food, and so the king and the queen crow could not steal the food. They were sad and they returned to their nest. Turn the page. The next day, the king crow said to his queen, "Come dear, let us go in search of food. I want the delicious food cooked in the palace, or I will kill myself," cried the queen crow. The king wanted to fulfill her wish, grew thoughtful. What happened? The next day, when the king crow insisted the queen crow to go out in search of food, the queen crow told to the king that she wanted that food which had been cooked, that delicious food which had been cooked for the king of Kanchanpur. Otherwise, she would kill herself. And the king crow, hearing this, he grew thoughtful and worried, and he wanted to fulfill the wish of his queen. When the king told him about the queen's wish, he replied, "O king, do not be troubled. I will bring the food that the queen wishes to have." Soon, flying with 11 crows, the commander reached the palace of the king of Kanchanpur. They perched on the kitchen roof. What happened? The commander crow, on seeing the king worried, asked the reason to the king crow what has happened to him. Then the king crow told about the fact. Then the commander crow promised to the king crow that he would bring the food for the queen of Kanchanpur. Then the commander crow planned among all the 8 crows that 4 will steal half of the rice, fill their beaks with rice, and remaining 4 crows will fill their beaks with fish. And in this way they are going to steal the food for the queen crow. Then what has happened? Commander crow took all the 8 crows and went to the king's palace in Kanchanpur. Okay, then they sat on the kitchen roof. When the cook came out with the food, what has happened? The commander crow first of all flew downward and perched his head, and the cook, being frightened, he dropped the rice and the food down, and the remaining 4 crows fill their beaks with fish, and the other four fill their beak with rice, and they flew straight away to the queen crow. Soon the cook came out of the kitchen with the food and the plate. The commander crow swooped down and pecked his head. The cook dropped the plate in surprise and fear. At the same time, the 8 crows flew in and filled their beaks with food and flew away. "Catch the crow, catch him, don't let him escape," the cook shouted. Commander Crow had not been as quick as others. 2 soldiers caught him and took him to King of Kanchanpur. But the crow was not worried. What happened? The cook shouted to catch the crow. The 8 crows, all of them were fast, and they flew to the queen with their food in the mouth. But the commander crow was not very fast in flying, so he was caught by 2 soldiers and taken to the king of Kanchanpur. But what has happened? The commander crow was not at all worried. "Crow, you have put your life in danger by displeasing me. Tell me, why did you take such a risk?" asked the king. The king asked the commander crow why he has taken such a big risk of his life. Risking his life, he has taken to steal the food. The commander crow then told the king the story that he had promised to the queen crow, that he would steal the food that has been cooked for the king of Kanchanpur in the kitchen. "Oh, queen wanted to eat the same food cooked for you. I promised a gator, and I have kept my promise. Now I will accept whatever punishment you give me." The commander crow told to the king that whatever punishment the king will give to him, he will accept it, because he has promised to the queen crow that he would steal the food and bring for her. The king of Kanchanpur was very pleased with the crow's loyalty to his king. "Such a faithful one should be rewarded and not punished," declared. "Set the crow free. From today the crow, his queen will get a share of the food cooked for me. Rice will be cooked every day for the other crows too." "Thank you, O king. I will always remember your kindness," said the commander crow. He saluted the king and flew back to his nest. What has happened? The king was very pleased of Kanchanpur, was very pleased on hearing the answer of the commander crow, who was very loyal to his king. And the king of Kanchanpur said that the commander crow should be rewarded instead of being punished, and the crow was set free. Moreover, the king of Kanchanpur promised to give a share of food cooked for him every day to the crows, and said that everyday rice will be also cooked for all the other crows. Then the commander crow thanked the king and said that he would remember him forever for his kindness, and saluted him and flew back to his nest happily. Here I end the story, and I have given the meanings, told you to write the meanings from the book in the copy, opposite words, fill in the blanks, make sentence, reference to context, question answers are all given. Please write them in Wasm, please write them in your copy, and go through the lesson, read the lesson thoroughly, and learn the answers given by heart. Thank you.